Hello again. This puzzle is called Sensorship by Mattchew. It's another Mattchew map. Second one on the channel. Interesting use of monitors. A few friends on Steam have this favorited, so I figured it'd be pretty good. It's also Mattchew, which makes very good maps, so kinda with my first video being a Mattchew map on Ox and being a pretty short video. I believe it's the shortest one on the channel. Maybe Ascend might be shorter, I don't know. This puzzle hopefully is harder. I don't know. I actually have no clue how hard this puzzle is. I've recorded a few today, and a good number of them have been way easier than I'm really willing to make a video on. Like, they took like 5 minutes, and I was like, this is not a good video. And I didn't want to do a multiple puzzle video twice in a row. So, first thing I noticed that I should have noticed earlier is the lifeform sensor. The way this works is whenever you pass entirely through it, it will toggle, regardless of which way you pass through it. And that toggling toggles something. I don't actually know what it toggled. I've been playing around a lot with lifeform sensor stuff. So seeing it used in, I presume will be a high-quality map, is interesting. I haven't really seen too many lifeform sensor stuff. I was challenged to make a puzzle with a lifeform sensor, and I've been trying to make one for a while. One I have called Trade-Off. But I never ended up making it because I just could not find any good ways to really use the lifeform sensor. My attempts at finding inspiration through other puzzles were fruitless. Hopefully this can give me an idea. Though I did also give myself the extra challenge to use only a single connection, excluding the lifeform sensor, which did make making that puzzle significantly more difficult. So, yeah. I can get a direct connection of the laser there, which is seemingly helpful. Well, what's up with the flashes of red there? Okay, that's probably just an aesthetic thing. How do I get into there? I can't go through there. Might be it's an inline rule thing. The rule of portal surfaces on the ground there. You can only place it whenever you're in line with it. Which I have no clue how I could be in line with it, because the only place I could do that is from up there, and I don't see a way to get up there. Interesting. Very interesting. First, I should actually look at what the lifeform sensor does. It changes the polarity of this, or turns it on? It's unclear. Okay, that's what the lifeform sensor does. It just either changes the polarity or turns it off and on. Should have checked beforehand before I actually went through that, whether it does one or the other. But whatever, I'll find it out eventually. I mean, I doubt I'll end up solving the puzzle before I even go through that again. But I still do need to find a way to get into there. Yeah, how do I... What? I see something. I see something. If I connect there and there, somehow, don't actually know how I would do that, then I will be able to hold myself up here and place a portal there to fling. The problem with that is I will need to find a way to, without using my portals, or at least with my portals there and there, open this. Which doesn't seem possible because this is where the catcher is and you can't exactly wrap around with a single cube. Unless there's a second cube somewhere, which I don't see anywhere, so I doubt. Is there any other laser stuff? There's no other laser stuff. That's the only laser connection. Okay. Okay, really interesting. My challenge of creating a puzzle where the only non-lifeform connection was a single laser connection. And I guess there's also this to the end, but I also allowed myself an ending connection, so lifeform to this, also something to the door. This technically follows that. I also gave myself a challenge to not use any extra bits like bridges or funnels, so they'll follow that, but there's only so much you can do. There's only so many restrictions you can put on yourself before the puzzle design becomes basically impossible. But I don't see anything. I don't see what you can do here. Or could it be that I already have enough momentum just by jumping down here? Like, that's also possible. Yeah, I do. I just don't have enough momentum to actually go through the lifeform sensor. Which is probably something I will need to do at some point, because that just seems like the most obvious move. Okay, let's see. What does it do? It turns it off. Got it. Wait, no. No. Not a hard thing to come back from, though. I messed up the move, but whatever. I can just do this. Turns that off, which then allows me to enter this room via this, and then just go to the end now. Of course, I don't have a way to go to the end now, because I just don't. Something relating to this. This feels like I need to use this somehow. I don't know how I would use that, but I will, I think. Probably to get momentum. Well, if I connect these two and have momentum somehow, like if I have this, I could probably place the cube here, and as that rides up, I ride up and try to get momentum. Maybe? No, but then I would have to pass through the lifeform sensor before dropping, which just doesn't... Well, I could just move where the portal is. The question would then become, how did I get up fast enough for this before this reached over to the button? And I don't think that's a thing I can do easily. This also allows for a weird connection there, which I might want to utilize at some point. In fact, I want to... The fact that this is here implies that at some point I will have to place a portal there. Now, I don't know where my cube is going to be at that time. However, I know the locations of a portal surface at some point. This gives me a intermediary goal. So that rather than having to think through the entire puzzle from the very end, I can just think, how do I utilize this element? There's only one way to do it, and it's if my portals are there and there, or there and there, and I'm up there and place one of the portals that way. Don't know which one, but one of them. Now the question becomes, where's the cube in all of this? Well, the cube obviously can't be on the button because, well, this has to be on. There's also Well, how do I leave this room once I do that? Once I get the laser, I presume the reason I would place the portal there is to get the laser. Having the laser be below me isn't too helpful. I guess I technically could set this cube on the laser to do something, but it's not going to point anywhere. There's nowhere it could point because it's the only laser catcher. So I would need to point... This is the one that would need to be on the laser. Then it would need to go this way and have the cube somehow. Or not even that one, no, actually. It'd have to be somewhere else. Since it can't be here, on this line, from the funnel, because the funnel would just pick up the cube, then it has to be on a different line. This clearly isn't open because I had my portals here and here, so this can't be open. I could then open it up by pressing that, because I do have something on the laser. That opens it up. Then I can place something there, which then allows me to connect there and there. I don't know how that's helpful, but that is something. That is something I can do, and that's the only reason I can think of to make this gap useful, is to be able to connect there and there if a cube is on that grating over there pointing into the catcher. which becomes an intermediary goal. Now, how do I get to there? Well, first thing I do is I could probably just already put the cube onto the grating. Like, that's not a difficult thing to do. Might need to respawn it. Actually, this kind of undoes something, which is fair, which is fine. This is a normal thing I can choose to undo. This is a state I've already been in, but not a harmful state. I mentioned yesterday that I would be making an ULTRAKILL video today, and that my plans for making that video were sped up as a result of an update releasing. But I never actually did make that video. Well, I did. I recorded it, but I didn't. Oh, what was that? What was that? I guess I can talk as I complete the level again, getting back to that point. I was saying about the ULTRAKILL video I mentioned. I did end up recording it. I did play the update. The update was very fun. I very much enjoyed it. It was also a kind of funny video. There were some jokes I made that I was able to keep the bit going for the rest. I actually liked it, but it just didn't fit the tone of this channel at all. Maybe if this channel wasn't called Chicks and Puzzles, or if there was more videos and I could just kind of bury the fact that one video just did not fit the tone. Because yeah, ULTRAKILL, from you can tell by the name, is kind of a violent game. So you'd kind of expect it to be not exactly the most cognitive, thinky stuff out there. And it isn't. Actually, I just want to do this. Actually, I want to be able to get the... I just realized I want to be able to get this into here. I want that to be on while I'm in there, but at the same time, I don't want it to be on. How do I overcome that? Because if it's on, I don't have a way to get in there. I mean, I maybe could use that somehow, but it's not in line. And when I enter that with this on, I either have to turn it on at some point, which requires not having a portal in there, because there's no way to get momentum in there without already having been in there with the thing on. So I can't turn it on after I have a portal in there, but at the same time, I can't enter there. I can't get a portal there and enter after having turned this on. That's a contradiction there. That's a challenge. How do I overcome that challenge? Actually, that's not that hard. All I would need to do is go in there like this. If I put a cube in line here and do something like this and this, I can then enter that area, place a portal, and get the momentum. Now, I don't obtain the momentum from there, but I can preserve my momentum from here, like this. Which is exactly what I wanted to do. Perfect. And now I can go through and just grab this. Actually, now that is a problem. How do I achieve that? How do I grab it? Can't grab it through the grating because of this double thing. Can't respawn it. Actually, I can respawn it. It's a bit silly of an idea, but I can actually respawn the cube. If I do this. Wait, no. No, I didn't want to... I'm gonna go back a step. What I meant to do, rather than moving off the portal once I got in there, was to actually stay in the portal line. Do this. and then just go up, and then go back to get it back up, like that. Now here's a question. Was that helpful in any way whatsoever? If I do that, that opens that up, which allows me access to place a portal there. And it didn't actually matter that that cube wasn't in position. Now I have this connected, which I think was the point. Or, I'm gonna save state here. Or maybe the point was to have this connected and have the funnel here somehow? I don't know, maybe pick up the cube with the funnel? I don't see how that could be helpful in any way, but it's a thing I can do. I just want the cube in here. Which I can't imagine is hard at all, because I can then place... Yeah. No, that's not hard at all, because now that I picked up the cube with the funnel like that, I can ride the funnel again and use this hole again, because, you know, object reuse, I thought you would only use that once, but you do that. You push it down here into this bit, allowing for this. Now you got the cube down there, and you can really easily just grab it again by grabbing the cube and going back. Oh, I love that. Oh, that's so great. Oh, Mattchew, you make good puzzles. I really was not thinking of this space as anything, but it was still used. The way that they hide their tricks is just so great. Now I need some way to turn that off, which is not at all difficult. Actually, I should question this first before I do anything like that. Right, if I have this, I want to then be able to put this on here. Question now becomes, how do I go back? How do I preserve my momentum enough to be able to go back? Which is why I save stated, because I can't. I don't have something. Okay, let me go back. Oh, wait, I think I can just use the same, like, momentum storage thing again here. If I... First I want to turn that off somehow. But I can use the fact that this flings you up to place a portal there. And that's what I was missing. So I want to go through and use the fact that I have upward momentum to get a portal onto the laser. No, you don't have enough momentum to do that. Oof. Alright. I mean, there's a similar sort of thing I can do. Maybe not necessarily with the faith plate, but if I can keep my momentum like this up here and somehow get a portal down there. I guess that wouldn't exactly be helpful because I already have a portal down there. So using this to fling over probably isn't the best idea. The idea being, if I go over here and use momentum storage over there, I can fling over there, and that's the exact same problem as last time. Not helpful. Kind of locked in this room, in a sense. Because without using the portal, there's no way for me to leave it. So if I want to get my portals in a specific place, unless one of them is in this room, I can't leave. Meaning if I wanted to, say, get a portal there and somehow leave this area to go over there, that wouldn't really be helpful. That removes the possibility of turning this off, putting the cube on here, and then just simply jumping down there. Now, if I had this connected to here, so maybe had the portals where they currently are, and this off, then I would be able to jump down there, come up here, and then place a portal there. That's difficult, because if this is off, then when I turn it off and come back, I will need to have come through that. Meaning my portals must be there and then somewhere in here. Since I don't have enough momentum to place a portal there, I just don't have any momentum to do anything. Really, the only other location I could place my portal is there. And that doesn't allow me a way in here. I mean, I was complaining about easier puzzles earlier. I mean, this isn't like insanely hard, but this one step is taking me a while. I want to get over there with momentum. The only place I can obtain the momentum from is, since I cannot immediately jump down through there, I have to connect this and that. Doing so, this and that with this off. However, if this is off, the only places I can have connected is somewhere in this room and there. I believe that is the case. I mean, what if I, like, kind of slightly tossed it onto the button? Like, I had it here and timed it so that whenever I would pass through there, this thing would be, like, here. Well, that wouldn't be the case, because then I'd have to have a portal there to go through there in the first place, and so there wouldn't be a portal here, or a portal on the funnel. No. With this off, I just don't have a way to connect the room with the momentum building with the room where I can get the portal shot. It's just not possible. I don't have a way to do it. Does that mean I need to somehow get in there with it on, and then as it turns off, the cube needs to get here? But I don't think I can do that timing. Well, maybe, actually. If I were to, say, connect here with here, I could then put the cube on the faith plate, which would give it too much momentum to land here, but give it enough momentum to go over there. Then, when the cube flings over there, I could then temporarily turn back on. Yes, I could temporarily turn back on the thing, because the faith plate will launch me in there, but I'll get picked up by the funnel and pushed back. Oh my god, that's clever. That is so clever. Like that. They slide it all the way through. And if I go up, I get picked up by the... and I just kind of inch it across. Oh. Oh, wow. Wow. Yeah, that's, that sure is a thing. I wanted to make a puzzle involving a lifeform sensor and the funnel breaking by the lifeform sensor, but I could not find a way to utilize that. But just the inching across idea. That took a while to figure out. That had a lot to go for it. I really thought you just had to fling yourself over. I was not thinking of the idea of being caught by the funnel as I went through. That is... Oh. Very clever. I see why people like it. No notes for this puzzle. Loved it. It was amazing. That was very nice.